Well, hello there. My name is Brian Needleman, and I make a living as a licensed psychotherapist in private practice in the state of California. And I've been practicing for 30 years now. And I'm also a Lyft driver. And I am also a proud ally of the LGBT community, which stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender community. And I have been for many, many years. I've really come a long way. I think initially when I grew up, I was like many people, taught that big gay people, LGBT folks were strange, they were weird, and I made fun of them. Made a lot of gay jokes, all kinds of things. So I'm not going to stand here in hypocrisy. And I didn't understand. I looked at people that were LGBT as foreign, different. They were strange. It was unnatural what they were practicing and what they were doing. I couldn't even fathom it until I grew up and I actually started to meet people that were in the LGBT community. And I had a very, very different perspective because I started to see people, to see them as human beings that were really no different than I was. It wasn't a preference that they had. It was just that that's who they were. And it changed me tremendously. And as I got older, I started studying to become a licensed psychotherapist. And I had a patient who I saw for a number of years, a male patient who was gay, who died by suicide. It's the only one that I've ever lost in 30 years. Now, he didn't die because of any issues pertaining to his coming out or whatnot. He had died by suicide because of other factors that involved another mental health issue and a medication combination that put him in a very bad place. But it's him that I will dedicate this video and probably all videos. And I'm sure he wouldn't mind if I dedicated this to everyone who is a proud ally, as well as everyone who identifies as a member of the LGBT community. My patient taught me a number of things. One, that he was no different than I was. He taught me about how much strength and courage it took to be able to come out to people that shamed him, told him that he was going to burn in hell because of his belief, because of his not just choices, but because of who he was. He felt isolated, ashamed, rejected, and he still practiced being who he was. And eventually he did find acceptance with people. But he had to learn the hard way that there is a lot of bigotry out there, where people do not accept people because they are different. And he also suffered a lot of, he got beaten up a couple times, he was assaulted, ridiculed by lots of people. And through my work with him, I began to have to look at my own shame and my own ignorance and my own personal bigotry, and allowed me to see that people are in fact beautiful just the way they are. Now, I'm not a religious person. I'm Jewish, but I also question the existence of God. But I learned this from an Episcopalian minister who taught me that God created all of us in his or her image, and that God didn't make us all white Christian heterosexuals. He made us all kinds of different ethnicities, sexualities, religions. And there's a reason why we were made that way. And it wasn't to hate one another. People were put on this planet for differences so that people could not practice bigotry and segregation, but practice seeing that there were just people that were just different than we were, and to accept them and welcome differences. Didn't mean we have to identify or agree with everything, but we were put on this earth to get along together, not to harm one another. And my work with my former patient changed my life. He made me a better man, made me a better person. He made me more sensitive to other people. He allowed me to see that looking at my own vulnerability was not a sign of weakness, but it was my source of strength. Because when I allowed myself to see my vulnerability, what happened is I was able to acknowledge my truth. And from my truth, I found my power. And from my power, I stopped giving a shit what ignorant, stupid, and bigoted people thought. And started realizing that I cared about treating myself well and treating other people well. I don't always do it perfectly. I'm not a saint. But I realized that I would rather try to live my life behaving and being as godly as possible, even though I may not necessarily agree with a higher power. My focus in life is about it doesn't matter what people are, what people believe. Are they good people? Do they behave as godly as possible? Because to believe in bigotry and segregation and harming people because of their differences is the most ungodly thing that you can do. So I'm not impressed by what people believe. I'm impressed by what people do. So I make a choice to be a proud ally, a lifetime proud ally of the LGBT community. And I know that this is the end of Pride Month, but I believe that I'm not just an ally between the month of June. I'm an ally every day for the LGBT community. So thank you for your time and your patience. And take care. Bye-bye.